Aloha, it's 365 Hawaii.
With Julie and Eric Ziemelis, and behind us is the car lot in Honolulu as we are here today filming a segment on small town life versus big town life in Hawaii. Small town being Kona, big town being Honolulu and Waikiki.
Yeah, so you get a chance to see a little bit of the flavor of both.
Right, and that way, if you are considering, figuring out which one you want to go and visit or what town you want to live to, we're going to give you a little bit of the pros and cons and the differences and show you some beautiful experiences here today. And the funniest one is right behind us is getting a Tesla.
Yes, for the first time, I haven't driven a Tesla, so we're renting a Tesla for the day. And guess what? It was like the cheapest car in the lot. Nobody really wants these things.
I know. I don't think they even rent Teslas out in Kona.
Yeah, there's the first difference.
Yeah, so we figured that when the guy's like this, make sure it comes back charged. And we're like, oh, how do you charge a car? So,
all right.
We're heading out. Okay, this is Eric.
I'm trying to figure out how to work this darn thing, eh? Welcome to small town living. How do you run an electric car?
It's like we're, coming from the sticks to figure out the future here.
Tap, card key.
I think you should touch it. It's a thing.
What?
Okay, we're gonna figure this out. Okay, one thing is totally different, as you can tell right now, is we do not have large parking garages with concrete structures going onto a massive 4-lane freeway anywhere near Hawaii Island. Getting the feeling of going on the highway 2 minutes after learning how to drive an electric vehicle. Eric, how do you feel? Woohoo! So we found a beach park that we want to park at, and we have to back the car up into the area because there is no other parking options besides doing this right now. It's a little hair raising.
Yeah, just kidding.
Here you go. But this beach park is beautiful. Small town, big city. Big city gets to have big beach parks, just like this one. It's Ala Moana Park, and they've got a huge park. They've got like lawn bowling. They've got all the stuff that we don't have. And they also have this beautiful lagoon that people can swim like. Whoa, this is amazing. And this is all protected and, just great for kids and stuff. So I'll give them the big town gets the big beach, small town gets the lava and the waves.
Okay, as we sit in this park here with this huge monkey pod behind us, it's rather pleasant, I'd say.
Yeah. Speaking of pleasant, we're going to talk a little bit about crime and safety.
Crime and safety. And it's not so much about, Oahu versus the Big Island. I think we could stretch this out to most big cities. And what's interesting about where we are in Hawaii here is that there's a little bit more of the culture of no guns culture here. We don't have quite the gun culture that is primarily on the mainland. Right. And so we don't have, safety is fairly good. There's, on our island, small town, is that people tend to do little small crimes like
steal cars.
Steal cars. I think that's a little bigger, but and also, steal stuff from people's houses, but nothing horrible. We do occasionally get a homicide, but it's not as much as you might think.
Yeah, and also we're talking about the fact that, especially in Kona, I love it because it's safe. We don't have that much crime. In fact, we don't have gangs on our island. Eric said that maybe they might have some gangs here in Oahu, but you don't hear of gang violence in Hawaii.
No.
And also, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Hawaii legislature just recently said that they don't want to take on like the idea of how gun control is shaping up across the country because we don't want because they're talking about open carry. They're all, we're going to invoke the Aloha rule. We're not having open carry in the state of Hawaii. So when we got out of the airplane today, just a few minutes ago, the fun thing about coming off the airplane and hearing a loudspeaker that tells thousands of people when they're getting off the plane all through, Honolulu, to be humble, patient, and kind as they're practicing the Aloha spirit when they come into Honolulu. And it's kind of cool because you know what? That's what's great about the state is that we have this like level of, I think Eric was talking about kind of like the Eastern culture of people just taking care of each other.
Kind of a chill kind of culture, right?
Yes.
We're definitely chill. It's not like some of those places in the middle. I'm thinking like Phoenix and crazy places like that, LA, that
Vegas.
kind of Vegas.
Yeah, I don't hear anybody saying to people getting off the Vegas airport, be humble, patient, and courteous.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a beautiful thing about living on these islands too. And I think it does permeate through when we talk about the safety and the lack of really bad crime and everything else that that's what's nice about here. And we're talking about people who are like trying to like move to Hawaii to get away from some of the crazy in their own neighborhoods. And that's what I love about Kona. Again, it's pretty safe, and safety is an important aspect of life.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to fanboy the location you're at. And the Pink Hotel, it's the only one in the world, and that's right here.
So Julie asked me why I chose to live in a small town like Kona, and the answer is that we grew up in Silicon Valley, and that was it was cherry orchards, it was walnuts, and it was kind of a slow-paced agricultural spot, and that's kind of my childhood a long time ago. And then what happened is Silicon Valley just kept getting faster and faster, and bigger city, and then it wasn't like I was when I grew up. So coming back to Hawaii is kind of like coming back to a little more slow agricultural pace instead of the fast hustle bus in the city. And that's what's interesting today is here we are in Honolulu, which is that fast the city, and there's lots of people and competition and stuff, which is fun for about that long, and then it's nice to go back and slow down a little.
So Eric talked about how Silicon Valley had morphed from a agricultural society into more of a high-paced one. And you know what? I liked it actually, and that's not the reason why I moved to Kona. I moved to Kona because I wanted to give my kids an opportunity to live in a slow-paced lifestyle and not one of me, and what the neighbors have and everything. But one of the big things I wanted to do was live next to the ocean. And what we're discovering here today is no matter what island you're on, Oahu, Hawaii, Maui, the chance to get next to the ocean and be in tropical goodness is part of the whole thing. So beautiful. Okay, tourist moment for just a second. So behind me is a statue of Duke Kahanamoku, and he is the epitome of Aloha. He was the one who helped start surfing, and he has, an Olympic swimmer, and he brought Aloha to the world. If you guys haven't seen the movie yet about his life, it's amazing, and it's so good that I'm going to drop the link to the movie inside the description. But if you move to Hawaii, or if you're in Hawaii for any reason whatsoever, you can't escape the concept of people treating each other with respect and showing the Aloha spirit. And one of the best things about moving to a small town is that you kind of feel that a little bit more, because people actually know each other. They let people in. We've done a lot of videos about how this presents itself with just kindness, and that's just kind of a small town life experience. Just people, because they just get to know one another. They treat each other a little bit better, and that's what you get from living in Hawaii as well. One of our friends was telling us yesterday that when she left for 3 or 4 months in Tucson to go get some medical care, she came back. By the time she came back, they had put up a whole neighborhood and a shopping mall. And she said that her once far away space was now encroached on. And I'm seeing that happening to a lot of, on the mainland. And so what's nice also about Oahu and Kona and a lot of the other islands is that we don't have overdevelopment continuing. Of course, one reason we love Kona is the fact that it just doesn't have the high rises and the high density and the congestion, and you can actually feel like you can get away. You can go stand out on a lava field and scream your head off and no one's going to hear you. It's amazing to get away from the world and go out there. What I like to do is go out there with my music and get a good dance and sing on and be alone. And trying to find that sometimes in this day and age is difficult. So small town definitely means that you probably have wide open spaces around you in a rural environment, and we love those on the Big Island.
One thing about small towns is that we don't have a lot of people around, and here in Waikiki everything is kind of packed together. So you kind of ask yourself, what kind of person are you? Are you one that likes to have wide open spaces and places to go to, or are you like being in the city and always having people around and the sound and the buzz of all the things that happen? We're here at Diamond Head right now, and it is a big open space right next to Waikiki, but there's still a lot of people here trying to go see Diamond Head.
For my people out there that don't like a bunch of people around you, a little claustrophobic, maybe a little bit, shy. Being in the Blaisdell when you have 15 to 20,000 people and coming out after the concert and you're like this, and then being at the Honolulu Marathon with 100,000 runners, you're like this. We don't have that in Kona, so there's no opportunity really to be like this on our island. As Eric pointed out, we just don't have that many people for the population, but obviously it's always nice to come and have a big opportunity in the bigger city. But one thing about if you just like to be left alone and just hang out with very few people, that's the beautiful thing about small. If you've ever had the opportunity to be on Half Dome when the cables are up, sometime in June, that's what this feels like. So, of course, there's people here. But I have to say that this was a bucket list item for me, and I wasn't actually planning on doing this today, so I'll just be happy to get to the top. But we're not alone. Tips here is if you do decide to climb to the top of Diamond Head, the good news is if you're come Aina, you get to come for free and you don't have to have a reservation. And we learned today the reason why they have reservations is because a boatload of people want to do this. So if you can come early in the morning and avoid the heat, avoid the crowds, and you get a chance to have beautiful, beautiful, awesome view, do it that. But I'll tell you, do it one way or the other because the view is amazing. Hey, so we're in this revitalized area of shopping called Salt, and behind us is Lono Hana chocolate, which I have come to now twice, and it has the most amazing chocolate and they do free tastings. This is the kind of stuff, this is totally vibrant, totally revitalized area. And we've come to the conclusion that every town seems to have at least something cool. That's why the beauty of travel exists. This is like a really fun space, but we have our brewery block too in Kona. But if we decided that, you know what, if you look for the cool shit, usually you can find it, especially when it comes to like supporting small business, like the chocolate company. Over here is like this brewery that does wine tasting and beer tasting. It's all good. So that's kind of what we came through from today is the fact, just get out and enjoy yourself and just, go out there and enjoy what's happening in your town, big or small.
Okay, so we are 10 minutes away from boarding our plane, so we are going to wrap this up pretty quickly.
And guys, the whole thing that we went shopping, we got hiking, we got to tell you guys about small town. Best part about right now is we're headed back to Kona, our own little small town, where there's no parking garages. We have to walk up and down, our car is waiting for us in a very flat parking lot. We're going to go home to see our children.
And one more thing, I have to laugh. We went to a parking garage, and parking was only it was free for the first hour for visitors too. It wasn't even local.
Okay, that's something Kona can learn a few things from.
Yeah.
But you guys, again, besides just tromping around different kinds of islands, we also sell real estate.
Yep.
So if you guys want to support our channel, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, please use us for Realtors and Real Broker. You can look at more cool information about real estate by going to
365 Hawaii Minute is our real estate channel. We got a lot of good stuff on there.
365 Hawaii Real Estate Minute. We'll drop it right there. And like I said, we'll drop some other things, little nuggets of goodness down in the description. And we'll see you guys on the next round.
Aloha.
Aloha.